people to jump on. So it was really a kind of a last minute thing. I just fired everything out about 20 minutes ago. Just let everyone know that it was going to be on. Had that thing that I just wanted to pretty much strengthen everybody that comes on the call and everybody that listens to it afterwards. Okay, everything that's going on with the whole coronavirus and all the other pieces and all the craziness that's going on in the world right now. Needless to say, if you're on the television, it's nonstop. Okay. Nonstop it is, I'll tell you. And it's kind of funny in watching like all the stuff that starts to come on right now. All right. Number one thing that's going to paralyze anybody right now is just fear. Okay. So get rid of the fear. Okay. There's nothing to be fearful of. But there's so many stories that start coming out and fingers are starting to get pointed over whose fault it is, who started this, who did this. Okay, what you have to deal with is what's right in front of you right now. Okay, and everybody is kind of changed entirely in the world to going from what they used to do all the time to being home. Okay, and being under lockdown. And does that mean that you stop? Well, no, absolutely not. You just kind of change things up a little bit. So maybe you're doing things now online that you hadn't done before. And you're starting to reinvent certain things about how you're going to do business going forward. And you're making sure that you have a couple of different buckets to draw from. God forbid something like this or anything else ever happen, that you've sort of learned from this quick thing, and now you're just making sure that you always have things together. Okay, you're filing the papers and going after the government loans and waiting for the government checks to come in. Okay, but at the same time, you're getting to spend a lot of time with family. All right, you're getting to put a lot of your ideas into place. Okay, and things are starting to get a little bit more creative now that the craziness is done. And there will always be craziness that comes about. Okay, it's called a conspiracy theory. Okay, and that was a term that was coined by the CIA many years ago, that they came up with, that they would use to discredit anybody that had anything to say about the JFK assassination. And it works so well that they've used it continually right up and through today and everything that's in the news. Okay, so they can just slap that title on and instantly take away the credibility to somebody. Are there crackpots out there? Hell yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of them out there. But there's also people that have real pieces too. So you want to strengthen yourself so that your intuition, you always know what it is to listen to. Okay, and going through the whole coronavirus situation right now, you want to make sure that your body is strong. Okay, so you're eating the right things. You're eating good, healthy things. You're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables because they break down faster. They feed your system faster. Okay, so it helps you with being able to keep a clear mind. Okay, you're not as sluggish about it. And, I mean, you're going to have help with that because on the news, Smithfield closed its plants down. So as far as pork production, and a lot of meat companies that have had people infected with the virus are starting to close down. So you want to make sure you have just a good supply of vegetables, and whether you're in a place where you're growing your own or you're able to get out and get them. We got a local place here that is packing up these big boxes, okay, for $10. And you just drive in, you pick it up, and you're gone. You don't talk to anybody. And boom, you have that stuff, which is good for you. So, look for a couple of good alternatives that's going along. and use the time. All of you. I mean, if you're probably one of the most challenging things right now is people that be a two-income family, okay, and now all of a sudden they're home with their kids 24/7, which is a challenge because you're playing with them, you're schooling with them, you're still trying to work, all right, or continue on with life, okay. So breathe, okay, um, and just kind of relax a little bit. And I want to make sure that everybody is strong, um, both in their physical being, so they can fight off any kind of symptoms to the virus. Okay. Now, as far as I know, in everybody that has gone through my programs and follow what I do and is in any of my groups, nobody has anything related to the virus that I know of. Knock on wood. Okay. So just enjoy that feeling. Okay, and continue to. I get new things coming up here. Enjoy that feeling, and now I completely forgot what I lost. I didn't realize this had a button where you had to let people in. Technology is crazy. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. So like I said, none of this was planned, and now I've completely lost where I was going. Somebody was there to remind me of what that was. Oh yeah, so just completely strengthening yourself, all right, so that not only your body is getting stronger from the inside out, but so that your ability and your thought process is stronger. And the faster that happens, the more you rely on your intuition, and you kind of know exactly what to do. So just kind of make everyone stronger for that by deleting out all the effects that are creating the fear. Drop the fear down to 0 minus infinity so that it's just no longer a problem. If you have questions, if you have anything you want to say, just go ahead and type it into the chats. And this is on a couple of different places right now. So I'm kind of looking around and monitoring all the chats and craziness. I don't know how I had so many buttons for one hand. Good evening, Carla.
Hi.
How is everything by you?
Everything is very well. How's everything by you?
I have no complaints.
Excellent.
None whatsoever. You're out on Long Island, right?
Yes.
How's that world treating you?
It's treating me wonderfully. I love it.
So what are you doing differently now with this new abundance of free time?
What am I doing differently now? Actually, I'm raising my conscious awareness and going deeper with my relationship with spirit, source, God, all that is. Feeding my mind a lot more. Maybe a little bit too much because I'm not really stepping out and being of service to people where I should be. And growing food. I don't know if you saw, I posted a picture. I'm growing some food. I have some celery growing, some beans growing. So growing my own garden and connecting more with nature.
Nice, nice. I grow everything. I mean, everything that I bring in here, whatever's got a seed, I just take out and plant. There's like tomatoes growing out there, peppers, lettuce, dragon fruit, pineapples. I tried to plant a vodka bottle, but I haven't had any luck with that yet. And it's amazing how quickly they just kind of all start. You know, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things I'm finding that the local lizards are starting to like very well too. I have a 4 foot iguana that comes to visit outside, and she has decided that he likes carrot tops. So they don't last more than 2 days before he gets a hold of them.
Wow. Wow.
So why aren't you connecting?
To people?
Yeah.
Um, maybe a little bit out of fear, fear of being seen, fear of stepping out into my divine calling, which I've been trying to work on for a very long time. And that's pretty much it. Maybe mostly fear, probably, I would say.
So what is your calling?
Um, I love doing energy work. I love working with crystals. I love helping people connect to their higher selves,
Mm-hmm.
um, and release their own fears and blocks. I love working with energy. So I just like on the down low, if someone asks me about it, I will help them. If I just won't go out there and promote myself.
You won't promote yourself.
No, no.
Okay.
If someone's led to me and says, "Hey, can you do this?" Because spirit put them in my path, then yes, I will do it. I've just never gone out there and promoted myself and said, "Hey, this is me. This is who I am, and this is what I can share."
What can you share?
My heart, my knowledge, my wisdom, my passion. I can share the spiritual tools and gifts that spirit gave me.
And what does that mean when it comes to crystal?
What do you mean when it comes to crystals?
You say that you work a lot with crystal. Is that what you said earlier?
Yeah, with crystals, sure.
Okay. So how does that work with this? See, all I have to get you to do is turn your camera on. You'll be promoting yourself. You realize that, right?
How does that work? Well, crystals have a geometric crystals being your quartzes, right? They have
Mhm.
a geometric pattern that's always repeating. And as a result of that, because we are electrical beings, um, a crystal, we will in our bodies will entrain to the vibrational frequency of a crystal. So crystals don't typically lower their frequency, but we will elevate to them. And so because of that, one can cleanse their energetic field. They can rebalance their chakras. They can use a crystal as a tool to connect to their higher selves because they're also touching something tangible. When you get into more of like the gems with the different multi properties to them, different colors, then you're working in the different levels of the
Okay.
chakra. So yeah, like that.
Very cool. And it's true. I mean, in all the stuff that I do, it's very important with those figures. The 5-sided, the triangles, because when you have all the points that are strong, then it's just that much stronger.
Right.
So how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very well.
Good. Good,
And how are
good,
you?
good.
And how are
Huh?
you feeling?
Me?
Mhm.
Unstoppable.
Well,
I feel good. I mean, there's not there's change, but not a huge change. I mean, I do a lot of stuff from home, so um, there's not. It wasn't that big of a culture shock. I know a lot of people are having a lot of changes right now because they went from a place where they used to work or two income families, and now they're home with the kids all day and everything else. So they have a whole new experience. They have a whole new appreciation for teachers too, I'm sure now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I worked in a school, and the school was closed, and I worked in a school for um it's a special act school. I work on in one of the only special act schools in Long Island. And a lot of, the parents, I'm sure, are finding it very difficult because to handle their children all day. Um, a lot of children have, that I work with have a lot of emotional traumas. And so I'm sure that it's very difficult.
And what advice do you give to 10 million brand new teachers in the world this week?
What advice do I give? Patience. Patience.
Patience.
Yeah, patience.
Okay.
Because this is going to, 10 million brand new teachers across the world. This requires all of a sudden now you're with your children for 6.5 hours a day. Where before you weren't, they were in school, right?
Right.
And you bonded with your children maybe briefly for a half an hour, 2 hours before you go to bed. Get the homework done. You got to eat. You got to brush your teeth. There was very little bonding time. This is an opportunity to bond and get to know your children. See them for who they truly are and let them see you for who you are. So I think it's really an amazing time, but it requires patience because you're both learning different routines and you're seeing each other differently.
Personally, I think kids will get a lot more out of it now.
Sure.
Because they certainly learn faster than parents do. They'll pick it up faster. But kids are great at adapting to new experiences. So it's going to be great for all kinds of them all over the world. But it must be extremely challenging having young ones and perpetually trying to explain why they can't go somewhere or go out or whatnot. I'm fortunate in the fact that I don't have that. That I don't have that to worry about myself. I'm really bad at telling kids no, Yes, indeed. So what's next for you? What's the next big thing?
I'm not sure yet. Working on it. I'm working on it.
What are you working on?
I'm working on developing content, developing the story, working on how I'm going to position myself when I allow myself to be seen.
When you allow yourself to be seen? Okay. Why do you have that little fear of being seen?
I don't know.
You realize that like 100,000% more than most people in the world on the topic, right?
Yes.
And almost everybody in the world is out there looking for something that'll help them. And a huge number of those people are ones that are looking for things that are related right down to what you're currently doing.
Yes, you are correct.
So just hit the button and fire it up. Because that one thing that it's held you back the whole time, okay, is probably what's going to end up being your strongest suit. And I'll tell you that from experience, because I was a guy who would had absolutely no certainty back in the day, and when it came to um, talking publicly or whatnot. I mean, I would never be the one that would get up and talk or be up in front of people or anything else. Um, Even going back to events, when I first started doing events, and they would do the start passing around the microphone for everybody that was at the event. Um, I would not be the guy with the microphone. How things have changed, huh?
I would say.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You already have the information, so you just put it out there. And the more you put yourself out there, the more you will find the people that are looking for exactly what you want. Hey, this is an interesting guy. Hold on. Oh, he just hung up. Why is I love this. I just hit buttons. Can you hear the phone ringing?
Hello?
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 How is it the whole world is on a live and you're on the phone?
You want to be on a Zoom meeting?
Yeah, you're like the only one that's not here. You're on the phone. Everybody else is on live. Carla's on live right now.
Is she?
Yeah, she's about to come out. She's going to turn the camera on. She told me a minute ago.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
Nope.
she's on a Zoom call and she's going to turn the camera on, and this is a big day.
No, it's
So
not.
jump on the Zoom call, Vinny.
I'm not turning it on.
Why not? Come on, turn it on.
Number one, I'm in my pajamas.
Oh, okay. Well, you can tilt the camera up, right?
And I'm in the dark.
The whole world is in their pajamas. Everybody is in their pajamas. Okay. If I had a button right now for a drum roll, I'd hit it.
Yeah. Well, next time, Steve.
Come on.
Nope.
Come on, Crystal girl. You can do it.
No, I can't.
Okay. So your program with crystals, what are you going to do with it? Tell me more.
What do you mean?
What's it going to be?
What do you mean? What's it gonna be?
The program that you're working on.
Well, it's one part of it is meditation.
Mm-hmm.
How to meditate, how to ground, how to connect to your higher self. The next is opening up your hand chakras and your third eye.
Okay.
To begin to feel the energy. And then, and once you can feel the energy, then you can pretty much start to feel the energy of crystals. You could feel the energy of pain flowing through your body. And just, helping people to have their own unique ability to be able to lay hands on themselves. And not really a form of Reiki. This is more intuitive. It's a little bit different because there's no symbols. Huh?
The what?
Hello? Are you still there? Oh, I think he's gone.
Can you hear me, Carla?
Oh yeah, you're back?
I guess it just decided to take a break. I'm not sure what that was. Technology.
So Steve.
So now is those all stuff that you can do across the internet or a Zoom call and stuff?
Yes, I don't see why not. Sure, absolutely.
Well, that just sort of opens up an entire world for you, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes, yes, it does, and it would. Yes.
So who's your target audience?
Um, Anybody that has desire on their heart that wants to have that deeper connection with themselves, source, spirit. I can't say that um, my target audience is a female between 18 and 35, and I it's limiting, and I can't subscribe to that. I don't care if it's this 10-year-old that says that they want to learn. If they feel led, then that's who I'm to help. If
Well,
it's
that's good.
somebody who's in their 70s and they feel led, then that's who I am to help.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on the person's heart. If they connect to me and they feel that sense of, by using their discernment, like, yes, I can trust her spirit. I trust her. She works with the light. Like, I feel it. Yes, this is where I'm led. Then that's who I'm to work with.
And how do they come to find you now?
Their own, well, because I've never promoted myself and I don't promote myself. It's just, it's happenstance, it could be being in a place, or someone receiving a phone call from somebody and they say, oh, Carla can take care of that. I know Carla does that kind of work. That's
Mhm.
how it kind of comes. It doesn't come by me putting myself out there.
Okay.
So it will
Wow.
come up in its own conversation. Yeah. Fun stuff, fun stuff. I've always lived in the kind of, I guess you could say, some would say like the airy fairy world. So I let it come. I never had a plan. At one point I had a crystal store. I didn't have a plan. I had the feeling and the vision to open it, and I went and opened it. And it was small. It was only 150 square feet, and it was a powerful little place. And I had 8 people walk through the door, and then I had to close it because I had to move. So I had to close it, and I didn't move out of my living quarters, and so I closed the location. And it wasn't a failure; it was a success because the 8 people that came through those doors were the ones that needed to be helped.
Cool.
And when I started, it really only grew. It grew by word of mouth. Is how it grew. Those 8 people came to me by referrals. So it's so I've never really had a plan. So this would be kind of different. Developing content, trying to create a plan. That's probably the biggest inline issue that I have because I've never had a plan.
And how would they find you?
I have to put myself out there now.
Oh, okay.
That would be.
If somebody wanted to find you now, how would they find you?
They would have to find me through social media, through knowing my first name, my last name, through social media. Because, like I said, I haven't put myself out there, or like, let's say you were in a conversation and somebody said, oh, this is what I'm going through, blah, blah, blah. Well, it happened organically. And then you would be the one to say, oh, well, if I came to your mind as the healer that can help that person, then that's how they would find me, through the person that they're conversating with, through the person that they're connecting to. But outside of that, that's really how people would currently find me.
Okay. So they would find you under social media.
Yeah, when I put myself out there, that's how it will probably. That's how it will be
Okay.
when I do get myself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now, right? We have the social distancing, so it's not like I'm going to be holding circles and events in places and traveling. So yeah.
You just have a virtual circle,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
If everybody point their computers in different directions, you'll have a circle.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, well,
So Steve, tell me about your journey.
my journey.
Uh-huh.
Which part of my journey? There's so many parts of my journey.
There's so many parts of everyone's journey, right? We're like multifaceted diamonds.
Yeah.
You have a lot of cuts, a lot of grooves, a lot of shine points. Your journey being how you got started in energy work and the metaphysical realm.
How I got started. I got started in it before I even realized that I got started in it, to be honest with you. Long time ago. I was in a motorcycle accident with a Mack truck, and I won because I'm still here. But yeah, the doctors wanted to cut my leg off, and they were quite determined, and so was I, to keep it. And it went back and forth, and yeah, I did keep it. And they did something at the time which was like brand new, and they had all kinds of paperwork for it, for microsurgeries and reconnection and all that kind of stuff. But they kept telling me that, it was useless because it was never going to work, and I should just have it cut off and have a prosthetic leg. And I wasn't anything about that. And so when I finally got out of the hospital, it didn't work, but it was there, which was mine, what I wanted. And I spent about a year walking around the United States until I could walk without a limp. And that just kind of continued on, it just, I didn't really know what I was doing back then, and using, physical intelligence and using my intuition and knowing which way to go, as opposed to just believing what somebody was telling me, which obviously they were absolutely wrong, because my leg works perfectly. And then from there, it just kind of went from one thing and into Tony events and learning from there, and then going into NLP, and then going into energy, and spending years with a grandmaster on different types of energy work. Just keeps going.
It always does.
It's just a perpetual journey to continually find ways to be able to get people out of pain and suffering, like, instantly. So, when I started way back when, and did a lot of things with hypnosis and go through sessions, like, I'm not one of these people that can drag it out for like 400 sessions. I'd never make a good psychiatrist. I have this thing with me where I just have to get rid of it, like, boom. And
I believe that, and that's how it happens. We don't have to keep it going and going and going. I believe that we're meant to help somebody facilitate that healing and be done with it. And it's up to the person. When a healer like yourself can remove the energy block or whatever it is, once it's removed, the person can call it back to them, and that's up to them if they want to call it back. But it could be done right away.
Well, see, I have a different belief in that they really can't call it back. They can call back other things, or they can develop other things into it. But usually, at least for mine, it's not. When that problem's gone, it's gone. But there's so many blocks that somebody can have that, in a general sense, yeah, you can find another block. It won't be the same one. And there are people that are constantly in search of new blocks for themselves. They like to be in that position. You ever run across one of those?
Of course. Sometimes myself, I could be guilty of that.
No, say it isn't true.
No, it can be. It could be. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to hit my head against the brick wall a couple of times.
Mhm. Here it- Yes. Hello.